stand up. We're going to demonstrate how to do some stretches. If you're at your desk for a while, got a bit of stress going on and you want to relax those neck muscles. So let's just open our arms wide, stretch those pecs out, don't hit anyone. And then get one arm across the body, stretch it out, maybe twist your back a little bit. And the other side. As you're doing this, kind of reach the straight arm and feel that stretch in the shoulder blade. And if you ever have pain in the back of the shoulder blade, you can be holding onto a pole or a railing and leaning back and stretching out that shoulder blade. Then get your arm up your elbow, push it down, and you can even lean a little bit, stretch the side of your body. And the other way. Then some shoulder rolls, back as far as it can go. And forwards. If you've got no neck problems, let's do little circles of your neck. Hi Dan, I'm going to be a movie star after today. And then I'll show you how to relieve a knot or a trigger point in these shoulder muscles. They're often responsible for the headaches that we get when the tension travels up the neck. So let's look to that direction and use your left hand. Oh, sorry, we're looking to the right there. We're using our right hand to touch the neck at the back here and try and push around and make some pain. So you're looking down to the floor on that right side. You're reaching down to the floor with your left arm just to stretch that muscle out a little bit more. Poke around with all your fingers till you can find some pain. When you find that you found the knot, create pain of about 2 or 3 out of 10, or as much as your fingers can handle or your mind can handle, and hold it there. And as it relieves itself, you might find you have to turn your neck a little bit more to create more pain. And hold it there till it completely goes away. It takes about 30 seconds to 2 minutes to relieve the trigger point. Trigger points are best relieved if you have some heat on your muscles first. So if you do get a sore neck or tight muscles at work, bring your little hot pack that you can put in the microwave and put it on there before you do your stretches. And feel free to stretch throughout the day. Thank you very much. Sorry? Well,
just to advance it right now.
this down one?
Yeah. We don't have
Okay.
limited on time now. So.
Can I?
Go ahead, yeah, turn that light on. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Marianne, can you shut the door, please?
No, do we need a shot?
Do we? Okay.
No, we need the air.
Okay, don't worry about it. Sorry. Can you leave it open? Just leave it open there with the air. Okay. Okay, thank you for your patience. Back to back and body mechanics. I'm the occupational therapist here. When you think of occupation, you just think of your job, but your daily living activities are your daily occupations. And so I help people with disabilities get back into daily living activities here at Sitka Community Hospital. I also consult with staff on any workplace modifications or anything we can do to help prevent injuries or help people get back to work after injuries. So we're here today to talk about injury prevention, both in terms of the benefits for the hospital, in terms of cost savings if you're not being here and patients not being seen, and our own benefit, our lost income, our inconvenience for our life, and the fact that it affects our everyday life. So how many people here have ever had an injury at work that's affected your life inside and out of work? So at least half of us. I have had a patient fall while I was trying to transfer them. A stroke patient, I tried to stop them from falling. That was a bad idea. You're supposed to let people go to the ground and then call for help. It hurt my back, and since then it's been easier to get other back injuries, for example, slipping on snow when I was hiking. So we all have, a lot of us have active lives here in Sitka, and injuries out of work can put us more at risk of injuries at work. So this is something to take note of for all of us. When we think of injury prevention, we might just think of, oh, you got to keep that lumbar curve. That's all there is to it. That is body mechanics, how we move, how we maintain our body alignment. But the other component of it is ergonomics. How do we adjust the environment, the equipment, our techniques, work with others to maximize our safety? So that's what my talk's going to be on today. And I would like you to take note of everything I say to find out 3 things that you might want to do differently in your workplace, because if we all do those things, it's going to make a big difference collectively. So this is what happens when you have poor body mechanics. You get my spine was out, and I found that on the trail in Beaver Lake yesterday. So of course, here's the lumbar curve here, and it's designed to keep these discs at equal widths. We have to maintain that lumbar curve. Then those discs act like cushions. And when we get rid of that lumbar curve and we create a C shape when we're lifting something up, they are at risk of popping out the back here, and a ruptured disc takes months upon months to heal because the discs have not very much blood supply and a lot of pain. So we're going to show you some techniques of how to maintain that lumbar curve whenever we're moving. So I've told you the difference between body mechanics, that's what we can control about our body, and ergonomics is what we can control about the environment. So our posture and techniques, I'm going to show you some different ways to lift and move. Maintain the lumbar curve. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Even if you pick something up off the floor that's light, you can put your leg out and look, I'm maintaining that lumbar curve there. Use the larger joints and muscles. So
We see that again?
What's that?
We see that again?
Seriously?
Yes.
So when you're picking something up and you're bending your knees, what you're doing is using the larger muscles, and I'm just keeping my arms completely straight. I'm keeping my wrists in alignment. I'm not lifting with my arms. I've seen CNAs get injuries in their arms, wrists, shoulders, because they move patients by lifting their arms. So we want to lunge. This one here, foot direction when moving. We're moving in that direction. We've got our foot pointing in that direction. We're holding onto the sheet. So I was going to demonstrate this, but CNA should have done this already. So just a reminder, moving people up and down beds, up and down wheelchairs, holding the draw sheet or something and moving like that together on the count of 3 with a person helping us if possible. And remember the features of the bed, tipping backwards, Trendelenburg feature, so that it's easier to move them up. Pushing and not pulling, so especially getting your body behind the load. I want to turn this thing and it's really heavy. I'm going to push it. I'm going to try not to pull it, especially try not to twist and pull. And people do that with the hoists in tight spaces in patient rooms. So rather get your body behind the hoist, get your foot on the leg of the hoist, and don't use your arms and your back to twist. So when you're moving something, we're not just going to be twisting, we're going to be moving our whole body and then lowering it down. If it's too heavy to go all the way down and you're not strong enough, which is another reason for staying fit and strong so that you can do these things without injury, get some help. Or get mechanical lifts or use carts to carry things around. And keeping the load close to your body. And if it's a really awkward shape, you may need 2 people because you're holding something away from yourself, including patient limbs. How many times a day have we seen staff and done it ourselves, reaching over a bed rail, trying to put a sock on a patient's foot and lifting the leg, and we often forget to ask them to help us. And we find actually, yes, they can lift their own leg. We've already touched on equipment. Try wherever possible to be familiar with the equipment that we need to move patients and to move loads. If you don't know, be as conservative as possible. If you don't know if a new patient can transfer, use a maxi lift. If you know that they can take at least 75% of their own body weight in standing, use a Sarah lift. If you know that they can stand on place and march and lift their feet and take weight on one foot, then they could probably step around. So the gait belt is not to lift 75% of their body weight. They should be doing most of that themselves. And then so we've got our gait belts, we've got our different types of hoists, we've got bed rails that can be put up for the patient to hold on to help themselves roll over, put down when you need to get close to them. We've got our sliding sheets, our drawer sheets, we've got the features of the bed. Always raise that bed to make sure it's at the level that's appropriate to you. If you're working with someone else of a similar height, if I was to be working with a smaller person and the bed was at my level, the other person might be doing this, shoulder injury waiting to happen. And of course, for those of you that work in the office, there's well-documented layouts and equipment and ways to set up your workstation. And I can come and do a workplace assessment of the ergonomics of your workstation if you like. It's not always expensive solutions. Sometimes as simple as putting a phone book under your computer to raise it to the right height so you don't have neck flexion going on. Generally, the easiest way to remember this is lumbar curve, 90 degrees, flat wrist so the pen can sit on that, bit of a pad underneath, whether it's a rolled up towel or a gel pad, just to reduce the strain. So we see all kinds of things because people don't have pull-out computer desks and mouse pads right next to it. We see people reaching, if you're answering the phone all the time, think of what you're doing repetitively and you have no idea why you go home with a sore shoulder every day. Charles reminded me on the first day to tell everybody that it's not just the major things that are going to do you in, it's the little repetitive things every single day that's going to wear away at these ligaments, and one day you're just going to have an injury and have no idea why it happened with something so menial. So the environment, think about where everything's placed in your workspace. Do you have to climb over things? Do you have to reach really high and twist to get something heavy out of a cupboard? Do you have to reach low and twist? Are the heavy things at an easy middle of the range access between your knees and shoulders? The things that you access repetitively, where's the phone? Where's everything around you? Even things in patient bedrooms, like how many times do we every time it's annoying, I've got to get these incontinence pads from underneath here, but everyone does it every single day. One person's got to say, you know what, I think that's got to go up on the shelf, or I think this bed should be moved over there. Like, take initiative. You might be the only one that's thought of it. You might not. Everyone's thinking the same thing, but they don't think to say anything, or they think, they don't want to create waves. Teamwork, creating waves. So we don't want to admit sometimes that we can't move a person on their own when we think we should be able to, and we're embarrassed, or people are too busy and we don't want to hassle them. Wait a while. Most people can wait, and then you reduce the risk of injuring yourself. The patient's part of the team. Ask them to help you. Rolling. Most patients can lift a leg or move their arm over or do something to help. Your work habits. We need to be organized. We need to plan ahead. Make sure we have all the equipment. The person's not halfway, in the sling hanging there and you're like, oh, where's the commode? Oh, this thing's in the way here. Rushing really causes injuries. Taking time out, taking little breaks, doing stretches. So fitness, keeping yourself strong, there's less injuries here. And stress management, rushing around and also getting tight muscles from emotional stress. And here's one stretch you could probably do at work with your door shut. So let's go around the room quickly, and I want to hear from everybody one thing that you're going to change in your environment. So could we start with you, Shannon? Is there anything?
Sure. Just being conscious of ergonomics when I am at my desk and being able to take that time to step away and so on.
Thank you. Julie?
To get help.
Get help when doing what kinds of things?
Moving patients, and usually they can't help.
Yeah, so she said usually they can help, remembering to ask them to help, and getting help.
Julie took mine.
Okay, same thing. We tend to want to do it all ourselves and be efficient, and why do you think we don't ask other people for help?
A lot of times it just takes time.
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yeah, you don't want to inconvenience them and can't find them half the time. Lindsay?
Right here with these guys.
Right here.
Really.
Okay.
Just like my workstation, making sure that my body is where it should be.
So workstation and her body in relation to the workstation, so there's no strain on any joints or muscles. Yes, Anna?
Yes.
Body mechanics when you're lifting and moving patients?
Yeah, lifting.
Same thing there. Belle?
I'm thinking of the maxi lift and reaching right across to unclip that one side rather than taking maybe 5 seconds to walk around. and
That's
do
a
it.
great example. We do that at beds too. We don't walk around it to get to the other limb. We just reach across. And Val got a knee injury because of a piece of equipment that was so difficult the equipment was too heavy, it was difficult to use. So yeah, we need ergonomic equipment. When you're thinking of buying new stuff, look at the layout of it and the design of it and how it's going to impact your body. Yes? Raising the bed? Thank you.
That was what I was going to say.
Another raising the bed.
Taking little breaks, little time out.
Yeah, and it's so easy not to because she has got so much to do throughout the day. Erica?
I think I will raise my computer.
Raising the computer tray. Okay. Screen, sorry. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes?
I always forget to raise the bed when I start IVs. So sometimes you go over.
Oh, raising the bed when you're starting IVs.
working with people of similar heights. Frequently,
Okay.
I am working with a fireman transferring patients, and they are in bed super high. So that's
Okay, so firemen often want the bed super high. Doesn't suit your ergonomics, but sometimes you don't want to say anything. You just want to get the job done.
And then
The bed height.
using more
Body mechanics? Yes? I'm just going to go down here. Rob?
Body mechanics. Be prepared. Get the bell arm going on. When the patient's standing there, just thinking about your body mechanics at that point.
Okay, body mechanics again. Excuse me, ladies. Are there anything you're going to do in your work to make it better on your back? Or anything else? Okay, environmental service people often say that sweeping the floor or mopping especially creates a lot of force on the back. So using that leg to lunge and to vacuum like that at home too. How many of us just want to get it done ASAP and we end up going like this and after a while like, oh wow, why is my back sore tomorrow? Same thing, yeah, with sweeping and vacuuming. Thank you. Yeah?
Turning to open the file cabinet behind me instead of twisting.
Twisting, okay, yeah, thank you.
Just keeping an eye on my workstation.
Okay, thank you.
I do body mechanics too.
All right.
I'm going to check my chair height to make sure I've got 90-degree angles going on.
Excellent. Body mechanics?
Stretching.
Stretching? Using the lift? Stretching?
Walking.
Walking for a break, yeah. Okay, the ergonomics of her mouse pad, yeah?
I know it's the same, using a lift more.
Using the lift.
table is really high, so it's really hard to sit people up. And if you step up on a stool, it's the same problem. You're too high, and you're bent over.
Yes.
And you're standing on the ground. It's too hard to sit them. So just kind of brainstorming on how I could make that work.
Brainstorming, excellent. Getting other people's ideas, getting me to come and look at your workplaces. For some reason, the X-ray department does not have a lot of adjustable equipment. You might feel the same way in your area. Camille? Stretching?
I wrote that one.
Sorry?
Stretching.
Stretching? George?
Maybe I'll deny and defer some more work requests.
Would you like a day bed in your department too with a sun lamp?
Yeah.
Okay, well thank you very much everybody, and hopefully you'll try and put these things into practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to take our lunch break now. We're going to be back here at 1, and we'll finish up with it. We got a couple of short programs this afternoon, so enjoy your lunch. See you at 1. Picnic is up on the parking lot on the other side of the clinic, between the clinic and the bio shed. So we can put our waste right into the bio shed after the get out of the parking lot. It's going to be beautiful.